Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about a huge shift that's happening in business right now. It's this move away from talking at your customers to actually talking with them. And believe me, this one little change is completely rewriting the rules of the game. So let me just start by asking you a really direct question. I want you to think about your own business for a second. Your marketing emails, your sales pitches, everything. Are you just shouting a message out there, or are you actually starting a conversation? The answer to that question is way more important than you probably think. All right, let's dig into this. The way businesses have traditionally communicated, well, we can call it the monologue model. And to be perfectly honest, in today's world, that model is failing. Like failing spectacularly.
So what's the difference? It's actually super simple, but so important. A monologue is basically a one-way street. You broadcast a message and just kind of hope someone's listening. But a dialogue? That's a two-way exchange. You engage, and they actually get to participate. It's the difference between sitting through a lecture and having a real chat.
And here it is, laid out side by side. You know, most companies are stuck over there on the left, broadcasting, sending static messages that get ignored. But all the good stuff, the real connection, the value, the results, all of that lives on the right, in the world of dialogue. So, why is this old way of doing things so completely broken? Let's break down the fatal flaws of just, shouting your message into the void and crossing your fingers.
It all starts with this number. It is just staggering. Your message isn't landing in some quiet, peaceful inbox. Nope, it's just one of over 120 emails that the average person gets every single day. They're all fighting for just a few seconds of attention. The amount of noise is it's overwhelming.
And of course, when you're fighting for attention like that, all the other problems just become so obvious. I mean, think about it. Generic messages get deleted because they're not for me. The timing is all based on your schedule, not what the customer actually needs. And this is the big one. When a customer has a question or a concern, a monologue has no answer. It's a dead end. You can't build a real relationship that way. And here it is. The brutal, honest result of that broken model, a click-through rate of less than 3%. Just let that sink in for a second. More than 97% of the people you're trying to reach are just tuning you out completely. It just doesn't work. So, what's the fix? Let's flip the script and talk about the solution. It's called the dialogue advantage, and it's based on a really simple but really powerful idea. Conversations are what actually get results. And the difference here isn't small. I mean, look at this. When you look at conversion rates, the monologue approach barely even makes a dent. But the second you shift to dialogue, the results just skyrocket. You go from just hoping for a click to actually building real engagement. And here's the number you really need to remember. A person who is in a real conversation with you is 3 to 5 times more likely to convert. That's not a tiny little improvement. That's a total game changer. So what's the secret sauce here? Why does this work so much better? Well, a real conversation gets the ball rolling. It lets you handle specific questions right then and there. That back and forth builds trust. It's just human nature. You listen, so they listen. You give them something valuable, they engage back. And you get this incredible intelligence about what they actually need, which lets you personalize the whole thing in a way a broadcast email could never, ever do.
Okay, so I know what you're probably thinking right now. Having thousands of conversations sounds awesome, but it's impossible. We just don't have the people. And you know what? You'd be right. But that's where technology comes in and creates this incredible opportunity.
So here's the fundamental problem and the big breakthrough. Having personal, one-on-one conversations with every single lead, it's just impossible for a human team to do at scale. But conversational AI agents, they can handle thousands of unique, back-and-forth dialogues all at the same time.
And getting started is way easier than you'd think. It's actually a super straightforward process. You just upload your contacts, craft that first message to get things started, and then you let the AI agent take over. It handles all the replies, all the follow-ups, and you can watch the whole thing from one simple dashboard.
And this isn't just a sales tool, not by a long shot. I mean, look at all the different ways you can use this. Your sales team can qualify leads 24/7. Marketing can get people to sign up for events just by chatting with them. Support can solve common problems in seconds. It's a tool that can literally transform how your entire business communicates. So let's tie this all together. What does all of this actually mean for your bottom line? Because making this shift to dialogue isn't just some new tactic. It's a seriously powerful and sustainable competitive edge. First up, the efficiency is just massive. Instead of hiring a bunch of people to do manual outreach, one person can manage AI-driven campaigns that talk to more people more consistently. That has a huge, direct impact on your costs.
Second, think about the quality of your leads. When a prospect replies to an email, they get an intelligent response right away, not just silence. This turns what was a cold lead into a warm conversation, which totally changes the dynamic of your sales process.
And get this, your customers and leads don't just show up between 9 and 5. An AI agent is always on, ready to reply in seconds, any time of day. That means you're catching all those opportunities that would normally just go cold over a weekend or late at night.
So when you add it all up, the advantages are they're huge. You move faster, you scale your efforts without having to scale your team. You literally get smarter with every single interaction. You give customers the experience they actually expect now, and you do it all for less cost. Which really brings us to this final thought. This shift from monologue to dialogue, it's not a question of if anymore. It's already happening. The businesses that are getting on board are building a massive head start. So the real question you have to ask yourself isn't whether your business should make this change, it's how long can you really afford to wait?